Shut down, say less, come let the bassline kill him instead. Sweet.
Let's start with the main component of the drop, which is the bass lead. It's a serum patch that I made personally, and I also automated many things to make it more interesting. The first thing I automated was the LFO point and the LFO rate, which allows for a lot of movement to the bass. I also automated the octave of the synth to make it a bit different in the second part of the drop. On the mixer track, I added erosion, which makes the sound noisy, OTT, camel crusher, distortion, Saturn, EQ, and shaperbox, which I use for transition. And I also automated the mix knob so it activates on only certain parts of the drop. Another shaperbox, which is also doing a transition at the end of every fourth bar. Mix knob is also automated. There is also a reverb, also automated, EQ, Cashmere Essentials, another EQ, Oxford Inflator, another reverb for the beginning of each part of the drop, and is also automated, filter, also automated at the beginning of each part of the drop to smoothen the transition a bit, and the kickstart, which is automated as well, so it doesn't work on the places with no drums. Drop lead altogether sounds like this. Sub-bass is also a serum patch with not that much of a processing. I added Camel Crusher, EQ, Saturn, another EQ, and the kickstart, which is also automated the same way as the bass we covered earlier. Drums are very simple. Altogether, they sound like this. First, I added a punchy kick, shaped it a bit of an EQ, and transient master, clap. Also added an EQ, hats, added a bit of highs and cut off unnecessary frequencies. Then I sliced the percussion loop, and I also added a low cut, another sliced percussion loop with a low cut as well. There is also a third loop, a shaker in the second part of the drop, drum fill at the end of every 8th bar, and the snare fill at the beginning at the second part of the drop. I also made 2 Reese bass fills for the drop. Fill number 1 is a serum patch with pitch automation, tape stop effect, reverb, and tremolo effect with shaperbox and filter, also shaperbox. For the effects, I added Camel Crusher, OTT, and EQ. I also pitched it 1 octave up in the second part of the drop. Fill number 2 is made with serum as well. This time I used the glide note in the piano roll, automated the reverb, and also added Camel Crusher, OTT, and shaperbox for the filter as well. For the synth shots, I added the stab, Reese fill at the end of each part of the drop, and another synth shot. And the last thing of the drop, FX. Firstly, I added the siren, then I added reverse fill, reverse cymbal, stab noise, fill number 1, fill number 2, reverse cymbal 2, reverse cymbal 3, and sweep. For the build-up, I took that same lead from the drop and added a bunch of effects such as filter, reverb, and cutoff automation. There is also the Reese bass with an EQ, Camel Crusher, distortion, and filter, which is also automated. Then the vocal with the pitch automation, reverb, cutoff, and volume automation. For the drums, I also added the kick, build-up fill, and ride to give a bit more tension. That's it from the tutorial. If you are interested, you can download this project file for free by clicking on the link in the description. This is how it sounds all together.
Shut down, say less, come let the bassline kill him instead. Sweet.
If you found this video helpful and learned something from it, check out this bass house tutorial as well. Thanks for watching.